Hello everyone, my name is Jane and welcome to my Summer TBR. It's finally summer, which is so exciting, and honestly I've been excited for summer for months, which is really not typical for me because usually I really hate summer and I love winter, but I don't know what is happening to me this year because the only thing that I waited for is summer. So honestly I'm just so happy that summer is finally here, especially because I have a ton of summer romances that I was saving for summer that I'm really excited to share with you. Like honestly, the Summer TBR is the only TBR that I think that I'm already working on for months. There is just a lot of summer books here that I really wanted to read in summer, so I just saved them. And this video is going up a bit late than I wanted it, and the reason is because I was sick last week, which isn't the ideal way to start the summer, but it wasn't something serious, just a cold, so I couldn't really film, so I'm filming it late today. But like I said, I'm just really excited to share those books with you. I actually have a good amount of new releases, which is very exciting, but the majority of the books are summer romances, not all of them, but the majority of them, and everything here is only romance contemporaries, because I feel like summer is the perfect timing to read romance contemporaries, and I just really love romance contemporaries. So this whole TBR is 100% romance contemporaries. Okay, actually no, one of them is an historical fiction actually, and the other one is a cozy mystery, but it's still a contemporary, so like almost everything here are contemporaries. And yes, I think that I'm just going to start with the first book, and this is also the newest new release on my TBR, and this book is Something Wilder by Christina Lauren. Now basically Christina Lauren is a duo author that I really love. I read a few romances by them and most of them I really enjoy, and my favorite romance so far by Christina Lauren is The Honeymooners, and I feel like Something Wilder is the book that based on the synopsis reminds me the most The Honeymooners, because this is basically a very summery romance contemporary, which is just so fun. Like obviously you can see from the cover that it's very summery, and basically this book is a second chance romance. I didn't read a lot of second chance romances, but I really want to give it a chance and to see what Christina Lauren are going to do with this trope. I think it's a dual POV story, but I'm not sure. What I know is that we are following a woman and a man, and both of them were their first love for each other, and now a lot of years later the woman is basically working in a treasure hunt business. It sounds weird and I still can't really get what it means and how it's going to play in the story, but this is basically her job. It's something that also her father did, so she's just doing treasure hunts or something like this, I'm not sure. But basically the other main character, the man, which is her first love, is going to come back into her life and they are going to meet and just so things are supposed to happen. It just sounds like a very fun summer romance. It sounds wild, obviously, just because I'm still not sure what is the treasure hunt and how it's supposed to work. But yes, I'm definitely very excited to get to this book. I only got it I think last week, so it's a new book and I'm just really excited to read it. Like usually I enjoy Christina Lauren, so I really hope to enjoy this book too. Now the next book is another very summery romance contemporary, and this is People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. Now basically this book won the first place in the Goodreads Choice Awards, and this book in overall is super hyped up, like just so hyped up. And I actually have this book from the last summer because it was released last year. And basically what happened is that Emily Henry also wrote Beach Read, which I read and I didn't really like. Like I gave it 3 stars, it wasn't really special for me. And since then this book was just on my TBR and I wasn't really excited to pick it up because I already read by Emily Henry in the past and I didn't really like it. But I keep hearing amazing reviews about it. It seems like a lot of people love it. Also people that didn't enjoy Beach Read, I just keep hearing amazing reviews about this book. And basically this book is Friends to Lovers. We are following 2 best friends from childhood. From the synopsis it seems like something happened 2 years ago and since then the 2 main characters lost touch, but basically those are just 2 best friends that are interested in each other romantically. This is just their story and I heard that it's very emotional and just very touching, and honestly I'm not going to go to it with too high expectations because like I said I didn't enjoy Beach Read, but I just keep hearing so many good reviews about it. So already for a few months I'm planning to read it and I might try it in an audiobook. Maybe it will work better for me with Emily Henry's writing. I'm not sure, but I definitely want to check it out because this book is just so hyped up, and I really hope to love it more than Beach Read. Okay, so now the next book, another romance contemporary, is You Had Me at Hola by Alexis Daria. Now, basically, this is a book that I got gifted from my real life friend last year in my birthday, so it's been like almost a year, and I still didn't go to it. I thought this book sounds so fun, and I'm not sure if it's actually a summery romance or not, but based on the cover and like from the vibe of the book, it feels pretty summery to me, or at least a very fun romance that will be suitable to read in the summer. And basically here we're following a soap opera actress. She was in a really bad breakup that got really messy publicly because she's famous, and now she's going to cast in a new kind of movie to basically get the bad attention of her or something like this. I'm still not really sure. I just know that she's going to act in some kind of movie, and in this movie there is going to be this man, and they are supposed to work on their chemistry together, to look good on the screen together. So basically it just sounds to me like a very fun romance about two actresses that are famous, and I really love books about famous people, so I'm really interested to see how this book is going to play out. And it's definitely a book that's been on my TBR for so long, and I really don't want to forget it because it actually sounds so interesting. I just really love books about famous people, and I feel like it will be so fun to see two main characters that are supposed to act like they are in love with each other because of the movie, and see how it's going to affect their relationship. So I'm definitely very excited about it, and I really hope to get to it this summer. Now, the next book is the historical fiction that I was talking about. It's definitely a summer book. It's very summery, and from what I heard, it doesn't really feel like an historical fiction, although technically it's not a contemporary. It was set in the past, but this book is Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and basically I read two books by Taylor Jenkins Reid. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo was one of my most favorite books that I read last year, but Daisy Jones and the Six wasn't really for me. I think I gave it 2.5 stars. So like you can understand, the two books that I read by her were really different from each other, so I'm really not sure what to expect from this book. Now, every time that I read the synopsis, I get a little bit confused, but basically we are following Nina in August 1983, and basically we are just supposed to follow some kind of a rich people's party, and I think that some character of Evelyn Hugo is going to participate in this book. I'm just not really sure, but in overall I just heard really good reviews about it. I really enjoyed Evelyn Hugo. I'm just not going to go to it with too high expectations. Like, I'm just going to read it and hope to enjoy it, and like to enjoy the summary aspects of this book, because obviously it's very summery. It's just a book that I bought I think a healthy year ago, and I kept it until today for the summer because I knew that I have to read Malibu Rising in the summer. So I'm just really excited, and I hope to love it. Like, I don't expect for this book to be as good as Evelyn Hugo, but I really hope to love it a lot more than Daisy Jones and the Six. Now, the next book is probably the book that I'm most excited about from all of this TBR, and this is Heartbones by Colleen Hoover. Now, if you know me, you know that Colleen Hoover is one of my most favorite authors ever. I really love her books. Not all of them, like, I really try not to go to her books with too high expectations, but usually I really love them. The majority of them I really love. I'm sorry for the angle change, but basically from what I know, this is Colleen Hoover's most summery romance that she ever wrote. It's a YA romance, so we are basically following two teenagers, and honestly, so far I think that Colleen Hoover YA romances are usually my favorites. So it's a not adult romance, it's a YA romance, but it actually makes me even more excited. And basically, like I said, we're following two teenagers, and I also know that this book is going to discuss a lot issues with money, because one of the main characters is coming from a poor family and the other main character is coming from a rich family. But except it, I don't know anything more, and I don't want to know anything more because I love to go to Colleen Hoover books pretty blind. I'm just really excited to get into it. I also think that the cover is so special, and it's definitely a book that I'm just really excited to read, and I was saving especially for summer because it's supposed to be summery. And yes, honestly, I'm so excited for it. It's definitely one of my most exciting books from Colleen Hoover that are on my TBR. I just really hope that you will actually love it. Now I have two new releases, and those new releases aren't summery romances. They're just contemporary romances, but I feel like those books will be perfect to read in the summer. Just really fun, easy books to read. And the first one is The No Family by Grace Kim Shim. So basically, this is a book that I was waiting for months. Like, since I found out about it, I pre-ordered it. I was just so excited to get it, because basically here we're following a teenager that does a DNA test. She's basically living with her mother, but then she's finding out from the DNA test that her father and her father family are a very rich family from South Korea. So she's basically going there. I'm not sure if she's moving there or just going for a vacation for summer, but she's just going there to get to know them and to get to know her family that she didn't know about until she did the DNA test. And this book just sounds so much fun because from what I understand, her family is supposed to be very famous, very rich. I think that maybe her cousin or something like this is a K-drama star. But the main thing is that I really love South Korea. I really love books about South Korea. I also read a new release about South Korea this month. Like all the new releases about K-pop or about Korea were released in May. I'm not sure why, but this book was released in May. And like I'm sure that I'm going to read it pretty soon because I just really love the theme. Like it sounds to me like a coming of age story that is combined with South Korea and like rich people drama. So it just sounds like an ideal book for me. So it's definitely a book that I'm just so excited to read. And honestly, I can't wait to read it. Like I just know that I'm going to love it. And the next book is another book that is about South Korea. And this is Once Upon a K-Prom by Chu. Now this book specifically, it's more about K-pop, not South Korea. Because in the previous book, the main character is moving to South Korea. Here we're just following a character that is living in the US. And her best childhood friend is a K-pop idol. He's basically living in Korea for a few years. But when they were little, they promised to each other that they are going to go to prom together. So now, out of the sudden, the K-pop idol is coming back into town just to go to prom with his childhood best friend, which sounds just so sweet to me. I already read Wicked Fox by Chu in the past, which was her debut, and it was a fantasy contemporary. This is just a contemporary, and honestly, I'm just so excited about it because you already know I love K-pop. I really love reading books that are about K-pop or just about this theme. I just really love it. And also, if it was just about a famous boy and not a famous K-pop idol, I still think that the premise sounds so interesting and so good. So it's definitely a book that I'm just so excited to check. And I also wanted to show you, which was so surprising to me. But this book is the regular hardcover edition. Like I bought it from Book Depository. But look what is under the dust jacket. This is under the dust jacket. Like actually, it's under the dust jacket of the regular hardcover edition. Like you can see, you have like the two main characters and all the K-pop group members are on the side, which is so cute. Honestly, it just makes me so much more excited to read this book. Like honestly, I was just literally in shock when I saw the under dust jacket artwork. It's like a regular edition. I'm still in shock, but also this book is beautiful and also I'm just really excited to read it. And finally, the final book for my summer TBR is also a new release, but this is a sequel to a book that was released last year, and this is For Aunties and a Wedding. Now basically this is the sequel to Dial A for Aunties, which is a cozy mystery that I was so surprised of how much I loved it. It was very summery and very fun and just very funny. Like the humor here was so great. It's such a great cozy mystery. It was the first cozy mystery that I ever read and it was just so amazing. And this is basically the sequel that I'm just so excited about. When I read Dial A for Aunties, I was pretty confused at first because it was the first time that I read a cozy mystery. So I was really confused of how this genre works, and I think that it made me enjoy the book less because so many things didn't make sense to me because I didn't really get the cozy mystery and how it works. But here I just know that I will probably love it more than Dial A for Aunties. At least that's what I'm really hoping for, and I don't want to make any spoilers about the second book, so I'm just going to say really quickly what the first book is about. But we're basically following a woman. She has a mother and a lot of aunts. All of them are very strict Asian parents, strict aunts that are very protective of her because they love her, and just makes the whole story so much fun. And I would definitely really recommend the audiobook because the audiobook narrator did an amazing job with all the accents and just with everything. So it's definitely a book that I will really recommend reading in an audiobook, and I will definitely read the second one in an audiobook, and I'm just really excited to read it. I didn't go to it yet because I'm in a really bad reading slump, but it's definitely a book that I think will really help me to get out of my reading slump. So I'm just really excited to read it. And like expectations wise, I think that I'm going to love it even more than Dial A for Aunties. And yes, this was my summer TBR, a really quick and short video. I just really wanted to share all of those books that I was saving for months just for the summer. I'm just really excited for summer. Like again, I don't know what I have this year. Usually I hate summer. I still hate aspects of it, like the heat, because I really hate heat. And I live in such a hot country, so it's like you can't really escape it here. But still, I'm just really excited for summer, and I really hope to love those books. I said it a lot of times on my channel in the past few months because unfortunately I'm still in a really bad reading slump, but I'm trying not to push myself and to slowly get back into reading, and those are definitely books that I'm really excited to read, so I think that those books will really help me to get out of my reading slump. And yes, thank you so much for being so supportive. I don't really upload a lot recently, and I'm really trying to get back to uploading more, so I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Next week I have a really exciting anticipated releases video that I'm just really excited to share with you. And yes, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye everyone!